Welcome, everyone. Welcome back to the start of the 2024 race calendar here for the Bahrain Grand Prix. We are live, and as you can see, we're ready to go. We're ready for the race. The race starts in literally 3 minutes. The warm-up laps haven't quite started yet. We're just waiting on those, and I'm just doing a quick audio check. Going to change a couple of things. Let's give it that. Put that on there. Move that down just a bit. Right. I think he says we are good to go. So the one thing I do need to do, and I can't do it until they've actually started the formation lap, so I do want to make sure I've synced the display here, what we're seeing. I know I look like a bit like a weatherman, like Bill Murray. The cold front's going to push out to the west. There's a delay between what is on the screen here to what's actually on the TV footage, which I've got in front of me. And right, let's be honest, in order for me to give you the best, most accurate description of what's going on and what I can see on top of what you can see with the live timings, tyre choices, and where everyone is on the track, is for me to make sure everything's synced and I'm speaking as it happens, as it is on here, rather than sort of seeing it on there and then seeing it on the screen, if that makes sense. That's the idea anyway. So let's see how this progresses. So of quick housekeeping checks to do. And I think we're live. No one did live, okay. Right. Check the audio. Right, so the idea here is what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, as I've already tried to match up a little bit, because it's normally about a 20-25 second delay from the TV coverage to this, so I try and pair them up by making sure everything's refreshed fully. And I think we're not far off. I did try to catch him as sort of doing the out laps, but it's very difficult to tell or determine exactly where each driver is on the out lap in order to sort of pause and then play it to the right time. So when we see Max Verstappen go off for the warm up lap, that's the best opportunity for me to just make sure everything's all synced up. Right, so I can see that all lights are now, so we've got 2 red lights, 1 red light, and so this will be the warm-up lap starting. So I'm just waiting to see that on the screen. I've got on the TV. Just get ready just in case I need to pause this or not. So off they go on there, and we are delayed clearly on here. So not moving yet. Okay, so we need to... That's what I mean. Why we need to refresh. Why we need this thing here. So hopefully, right. Let's get things back on. Okay, there we go. So now, as you can see, they're actually. Now I just need to pause this, just to allow the traffic, just to allow what I see on my TV screen to catch up. So Verstappen is round on the sharp corner there. Just give it enough time, just to. Give me 2 seconds. I just want to sync everything up. I think that's pretty close. Let me just double check what I can see on my screen, what I'm seeing on the timing. Says it's live, by the way. You are watching this live. Verstappen comes round. This is the warm-up lap. I haven't started the race yet. This isn't the live race. They're on their warm-up lap. Best opportunity for me now to make sure everything's all caught up. I still think I'm a little bit behind potentially. So yeah, this is just a warm-up lap. If you're just joining, they are currently on the warm-up lap before the start of the race. So we're a couple of minutes literally now from the start of the 2024 Bahrain Grand Prix. As Verstappen makes his way down the long back straight. And I just want to make sure I'm definitely where we are before they start the race, where so on here Verstappen's come around the last bend. So okay, so we have another 5 seconds or so. 2, 1. Oh no, he's still quite a bit behind there. So still. Obviously, Verstappen starting from pole, followed by Leclerc, followed by George Russell. Now, it's interesting here because some of the teams believe, because this is meant to be a good track for overtaking, so some of the teams, it's said that some of the teams sacrificed some of their qualifying pace in order to make sure they had a good race car instead, because it's actually, having a good race car here can be beneficial as opposed to the single lap qualifying. So, for example, you've got George Russell and Lewis Hamilton on totally different setups, because one went for the sort of the setup on a lower fuel run, and Hamilton went for the higher fuel run. This isn't starting yet, by the way. We're getting more people join on right at the moment. This is just, they're queuing up now for the start of the race. I can see Max Verstappen is currently sat on the grid with the back markers coming round as well. I just want to make sure I'm syncing up. So we're a little bit delayed on here. So I just need to pause it and allow the TV carriage to catch up a little bit. Wait for the Alpines to come around the last bend, because on the TV they haven't quite got around the last bend yet. And then I can play it. So just so that we're all synced up and live. And I think we're pretty close now. Yeah, I can see the RB Visa app, what you call them, plus the Alpines. Right, there we go. I think we're good. Right, we are ready. They're all on the grid. Safety cars at the back. The green flag's waved, and we are a go for racing in the 2024 Bahrain Grand Prix. Max Verstappen gets a good start. Charles Leclerc trying to go past. Max Verstappen covers him off, and Charles Leclerc pulls out to the right. Charles Leclerc, there's contact somewhere. There's contact somewhere, not at the front. We've got, yellow flag, sector 1 already. We've already got yellow flag in sector 1. One of the Aston Martins has spun. It looks like it's Lance Stroll. Russell all over the back of Leclerc at the moment. And Max Verstappen stays in front of Leclerc, but Russell is all over the back of Leclerc. Perez all over the back of Russell. Both McLaren 7th and 8th as it stands. Alonso. So pretty much the same lineup. Hamilton in 9th. Pretty much all the same, really, the top 10. Still the yellow flag. Front damage says Haas. The Haas of Magnussen has damage. I think it was Magnussen who put that radio there. Green flag now, so we're all clear. So Max Verstappen pulling away at the moment from Charles Leclerc, who's just starting to pull away a little bit from George Russell now as well. Lewis Hamilton having a look at Oscar Piastri. Doesn't fancy it on that particular occasion. Verstappen will obviously be looking to get a second in front as quickly as he can, because, as you know, the DRS after 2 laps becomes available, and you need to be within a second of the car in front for the DRS to be enabled. So if you're the car that's on the defence, you need to make sure you're a second in front of the car behind you. That's where Verstappen's trying to get to now. He's already a second clear. So what you've got, just an opportunity quickly here, you've got this is currently the live graphs of where everyone is on the track. On the left is all the timings, current live timings, and as you can see, everyone is on the red marked soft tyre. Those tyres will also, the numbers next to the tyres tell you how old those tyres are. So Verstappen leads from Leclerc, from Russell, from Perez. And I'm just seeing, so obviously DRS is now available to, so that's both the Williams getting close there. The Williams and the RB. The Williams, I tell you, from a distance, the RB Visa app Cash Plus thing, whatever it's called, and the Williams don't look that dissimilar from So Hulkenberg does pit for what looks like a new front wing. And here comes Hulkenberg now, actually, on your graph, as you can see. So Verstappen still leads by Leclerc, bringing up that gap now to 1.3 seconds. Perez is all over the back of Russell as it stands. Alonso now looks like he's sort of being the person to hold up everyone else at the moment in terms of behind. So I'm no doubt that the McLarens will be, Lando Norris will be told to try and get past Alonso as quick as he can, because if he doesn't get past Alonso, he's got a risk of being cut off from the rest of the front of the pack. And we know the McLarens, on their race pace, they're expecting to be challenging that pack there. So let's see how it happens here. Lewis Hamilton is still in ninth. The top 10 is pretty much, or the top 9 at least, is pretty much as it were, really. We've got a bit of a lot of dust coming off the turn 1 involving car. So noted causing a collision. So we haven't seen a replay yet, but race control have noted Stroll and Hulkenberg causing a collision. And there we go. As I said, the McLaren of Lando Norris gets past Fernando Alonso. Oh, and Russell is gone. Oh, Russell makes a move on Charles Leclerc. Russell does get out in front of Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc is fighting back though, but he doesn't have the grip. Russell is pulling off. Has Leclerc got a problem? Now Perez is all over the back of Charles Leclerc. But Russell just went past and there was no fight back at all. Oh, lock up by Charles Leclerc now. Now Perez is going to have an opportunity up the inside. Oh, and surely with DRS down the long straight. Although Charles Leclerc has got DRS as well. But Charles Leclerc seems to have got all offline for whatever reason there. 1.9, nearly 2 seconds now the gap at the front from Verstappen. If you've just joined us, Hulkenberg, if you can see him way at the back, Hulkenberg and Lance Stroll had a bit of a tangle on the opening lap into the first corner, actually, as it happens. So now Lando Norris is in front of Alonso. Lando Norris, you can see there's a bit of a gap because of Fernando Alonso was holding up. Oscar Piastri will now be given the radio message to get past Fernando Alonso as quick as you can. I'm sure the message will be along the lines of, Fernando isn't quicker than you. Can you confirm? Let's have a look at the timings here. Let's see if George Russell passed Leclerc. I wonder if that timing, that it was around 1.92 seconds, if that's going to continue to increase, or whether Russell has actually got some pace there and going to bring it all back. What they do to Ham's car? Well, Lewis Hamilton decided on... So, when you go into what's called parc fermé conditions, i.e. once you go into qualifying, you can't make any changes to your car until basically after the race. That what your settings are, what your setup of the car is when you go into qualifying is what the setup's going to be when you go into the race. So, before the race... During practice, what a lot of the teams do is they experiment and have a little look on different angles, for example, with the front wing, the rear wing, how different settings run better on a higher fuel load or a lower fuel load, etc. And what Lewis Hamilton did was he sacrificed qualifying by saying, look, I want a car that's going to be better for me with more fuel in, so i.e. better race pace. So he's got a better car to race with on the Sunday as opposed to a car that's more stable with a low fuel, if that makes sense, like George Russell did, which is why George Russell was able to qualify in third and Lewis Hamilton was only able to qualify in P9. However, with the race pace, Hamilton is obviously stuck behind Piastri, who's stuck behind Alonso. So Hamilton will need at some point to start making a move on, but it's early days. We are only a few laps into a 57 lap race. Let me know where everyone's watching from today. I see we've got quite a few online now. Let me know where you're watching from, and I will post any comments, as I just did a minute ago, right there as well. And so Verstappen leads now 3.3 seconds. So it's basically a continuation of the last season by the looks of things, isn't it? Verstappen's about 50 million miles in front of everyone else, and there's a build battle for second and third. So why don't we just scrap first place for the season and say, look, second and third, double points. Double points for second and third. Let's have an incentive to race at the front. comment here. USA from Beckley Dilly. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm not very good at pronouncing names. In the USA. Welcome from the USA. Do you mind if I ask what states? Gap between Leclerc and Perez. So between Leclerc and Perez currently is 0.2 seconds. Perez is all over the back of Leclerc at the moment. Leclerc had a bit of a mistake early in the race. Mr. Varden from India, Bosnia, Igor, welcome. By the way, look, we've got India, we've got Asia, we've got the US, we've got India, we've got Bosnia. Well, I mean, this is a global channel. Another one from India. Welcome as always to everyone, to one and all. So state of play, Verstappen 3.9 seconds in front of George Russell now, who leads Leclerc, who leads Perez, who leads Carlos Sainz. A little bit further back is Lando Norris. Oh, and I've just noticed the Oscar Piastri has got past Fernando Alonso. So the next up for Lewis Hamilton now is Fernando Alonso. It's what I said. ICC Mexico here. Well done. Welcome to those in Mexico and from Poland. Where can I watch the full race? So it varies from country to country. Unfortunately, it is I think for most countries now, it's a paid subscription service, including here where I'm watching it in the UK. I've got it on TV, but that's why I run a channel like this. This is why I run a channel, because I know a lot of people can't watch the race itself, and this is as close to the live, because this is all live as you can see. So I try to do create a channel that everyone can be involved in and watch as much of the race without watching the race, so to speak. From Ohio, says Beckley. Welcome from Ohio. Welcome from Ohio. Right, so that gap's getting bigger and bigger. 4.6 seconds now. Last lap. This is the difference. So the last lap for Verstappen 137.1. Russell's was 138.1. So at this moment in time, Verstappen is lapping a second quicker than Russell. But we don't know again how things are going with tyre conditions, etc. I suspect. I mean, Leclerc's just nine tenths off. To me, I suspect Leclerc's been held up at this point by Russell, and he's going to need to get past if he wants to track down Verstappen. But again, the Red Bull looks, head and shoulders above everyone else at this moment in time. I mean, look at Hulkenberg; he'll be lapped soon. So Norris leads Piastri, who leads. Is that Hamilton? Alonso still just ahead of Hamilton. So Alonso's had a bit. The race pace of that car's not quite holding up at the moment. Hello from Cambodia. Hi from Cambodia. Hi. Welcome to the channel. So we are normally on Facebook and YouTube. This weekend, we're just on YouTube, purely for the fact that there was a couple of technical issues which have been resolved on Facebook from my being able to stream. Normally I stream on Facebook too. Normally I get the bigger audiences on Facebook, funny enough. Make of that what you will. Sergio Perez, by the way, making a move on the Ferrari, and Sergio Perez does does sneak in front of Leclerc. Leclerc's trying to stay close and catch him out, but that Red Bull's far too quick. And Leclerc, having started second on the grid, is now down to fourth, and Carlos Sainz all over the back of Leclerc now. Up to over 100 viewers now on YouTube. Welcome, by the way, everyone, one and all, to the F1 Fan Zone. This is live at this moment in time. Verstappen leads in the Bahrain Grand Prix by 5.7 seconds now. Last lap time 137.0 to 138.0. So Verstappen's literally lapping a second quicker than second place Russell here. Surely Perez now is going to need to push down and chase George Russell. From Egypt, welcome from Egypt. So we've got the US, we've got Mexico, so South America. We've got North America, South America. We've got someone from Africa. We've got Asia. We've got Europe. I'm in the UK, so literally global. Literally global. Welcome to the channel. Another one from India as well. I didn't realise F1 was so popular in India. You must be gutted about the Indian Grand Prix not being there at the moment. And also another one from India. Hello. And from the Netherlands. Welcome. You know what? I was in the Netherlands in November. I was in a place called Breda, in the Netherlands, in November last year. And another one from India. Welcome. Very popular in India today. Must be late over there as well. What time is it? It's 3:15. So it's got to be sort of 9 o'clock over in India. What happened to Hulkenberg? He lost grip on track while emerging pit stop. So it was an emergency pit stop because of an incident on turn 1 on the opening lap where he needed a new front wing. From Zambia, welcome from Zambia. So Tuesday in it. Hello from Morocco, welcome. Hello everyone, wherever you're watching from, welcome to the channel. Hello from Chad, wow, welcome. That's a new one, Chad. So, where are we now? I just saw a lock-up there by one of the Ferraris. So, Leclerc's really struggling in this Ferrari. This Ferrari race pace doesn't seem to be quite there. Certainly not for Leclerc. But interestingly, arguably, Sainz was quicker over testing and over practice. Are interested to know what everyone's thoughts are, but are Ferrari replacing the right driver with Lewis Hamilton? Should Sainz be the one to partner Hamilton, or is it right that it's Leclerc? How many more laps? So we are 9 laps through from 57. So that gives me what? Quick maths is about 48 laps left. Oh, sorry, we're getting lots of comments coming in. 10:17 p.m. in Cambodia. 10:17 p.m. Well, good evening in Cambodia. Hello from Malaysia. Welcome. Gap, by the way, Max and Russell. Gap 2, Max and Russell is 6.9 seconds. Last lap was Verstappen was a 1:37 flat, and Russell was a 1:37.8. So he's about a second a lap quicker. Hulkenberg on the lead. Yeah, well, yeah. You could, if you looked at it the wrong way, yeah, I can see why it would look like that. Russell and Verstappen gap, yeah. So just one there, 7 seconds now. Actually, 7 seconds. I don't know if you can how clear it is on the left-hand side of the screen. So you can see I've got the map here of where all the drivers are. But on the left-hand side, those are the live timings, and you can just about see the gap, which is in the middle column. If I can bring my mouse here, this middle column is the current gap. So there, it's 7.2 seconds, 8.19. That's the gap back to from the front, and here is the gap to the driver in front. So 7.2 seconds there. Perez is a second off of Russell. Leclerc is 0.9 seconds of the person in front, and so on. Hello from Clay from Congo. Welcome to the stream. Blimey. Leclerc is struggling, and we have a yellow flag in Sector 1. It is Logan Sargent, who has stopped out on track. Let me see what that is about. He's just stopped. He's pulled off onto runoff area. So I'm not sure if that's a car issue, if he's just overshot. I'm not sure at the moment. There's a yellow flag there, though. So let's see if that, because it's in the runoff area, they may, depending on the situation with the car, may need to bring a safety car or virtual safety car. Or is he what's going on here now? So he's turning. So he is now moving. So perhaps it wasn't an issue. So now he's got a green flag. So not sure what happened there with Sargent, but he was in the runoff area, turned the car around and come back on. So I can only assume he must have locked up and gone over. Oh, and here comes the Ferraris, by the way, racing each other. Oh, it's very tight, and Charles Leclerc holding it off at the moment. So Carlos Sainz has gone past Charles Leclerc. He had been all over him. So Charles Leclerc is obviously struggling. One of our viewers called it a minute ago. He is struggling. Yeah, you got actually there. You got it there. He is struggling. Got it. Thanks. No problem at all. So Leclerc is struggling now. Norris. I wonder if Norris is going to get the hurry up here. Norris and Piastri are looking comfortable. Hamilton is past Alonso, but he's a bit behind. The gap now from Hamilton to Piastri is 2.4 seconds. So Sargent taking the lead, yeah. So Sargent leads Verstappen, who leads, yeah. Yeah, that'll be the day. Another Red Bull 1-2. Very possible. Very possible. Perez is all over the back of Russell at the moment. In fact, he's only half a second behind. And I can see now a battle brewing there. We'll have DRS soon enough. In fact, he'll have DRS coming down this long straight. Okay, Verstappen is Verstappen, Logan is Logan, but being overlapped is wild. Yes, indeed. Russell holding off Perez as they come down the back straight here. Just seeing a replay of the Ferraris battling out. So Verstappen will get, Perez will get another run at Russell. Oh, Russell pits. Russell pits. We are on lap 12 on those soft tyres, and Russell has pitted. Let's see. He's got a set of new hard tyres for George Russell. Is this the pit window? Are we going to see an influx of cars now making it in? The fact that Verstappen's creating a huge gap between Russell and the rest, yeah, it's a continuation of last year without a doubt. Without a doubt. So let's see what times Russell does. I'm just trying to work out where he's coming back. He's going to say he's coming back. He's come back in front. Okay, so he's behind the Alpine of Gasly. Is Russell now? Was that a planned pit stop, or was that a reaction pit stop? Let's see what Perez does when he comes back round. Will they respond, Red Bull, or do they think that Perez has got enough grip in those soft tyres where he can lap quicker than Russell on the hard tyres? What's helping Max take the lead so much? Well, a very good car for number one, and we can't take too much away from Verstappen. He's obviously a terrific driver as well, that's for sure. On the Caribbean Princess, heading back to Miami. Love the Caribbean cruise. I last went in 2019. I went on the Royal Caribbean from out of Miami, Port of Miami. I hope you enjoyed. I love a good cruise. Perez will have second place. Yeah, it's possible. Oh, Perez has pitted, by the way. Perez did just pit. And McLaren's are pitting now as well. So we've got a pit window open. Actually, it's Oscar Piastri that's pitting instead of Lando Norris. That's interesting. What's happening to Leclerc? Just struggling, I think, for grip. I think that's the only conclusion I can make is he's struggling for grip. He has pitted Leclerc as well. So this year will be a full Dutch anthem, but I think we'll hear it on every race. I hope not. I had hope going into today. I know this is a track that doesn't suit a lot of cars. It does suit the Red Bulls, but it doesn't suit a lot of cars. But we'll have to wait and see. But yes, it looks a little bit, Fat Max Verstappen. Hello, welcome to the channel. Leclerc is currently in P10, but he has just pitted. But he did start on P2 and he did lose 3 places before he pitted. Oh, hang on. What's going on here? Oh, okay. I thought I just saw one of the Red Bulls off the thing. Anybody have F1 TV Pro? What is F1 TV Pro? I should probably know this. What's Ham doing? Hamilton is currently in P12 with a new set of hard tyres. Behind Oscar Piastri. Don't forget, look, those on the soft tyres, everyone started on the soft tyres. All the drivers that pitted are on soft, that haven't pitted the company on the soft tyres on the left-hand side of the screen. All the white marked hard compound tyres you can see there now, like Russell, for example, has just gone past and so on, are drivers that are pitted. I haven't learnt half of the Dutch anthem now, so I'm sure I will sing with Red Bull. Max for 33 for the win. Barring something miraculous, I can't see that. I can't see Verstappen getting Verstappen not winning this race, to be honest. Oh. Right, Perez has just gone past, by the way. Perez has just overtaken George Russell. George Russell really struggling to get the heat in those tyres. Now he's got a Ferrari of Leclerc right behind him now. So he's struggling to get heat in those tyres, George Russell. He's not got the grip. Perez has got the grip on those hard compound tyres. They've got them warmed up quicker. Had DRS, and through the DRS, down into the pit straight by the looks of things, or into the home straight. Where was it? Struggling for grip there is George Russell. Verstappen all out his own, followed by Carlos Sainz, who is box was the radio message, and into the pits. Carlos Sainz, I'm sure, is about to go, and in he goes. Little lock up actually. He pulled into the pit lanes there. What happened to Charles? Just lack of grip, I think. Nothing mechanical by the looks of things. No incidences, just pure lack of grip, lack of pace. Verstappen with consistent 137 on 14 lap old softs now. 137 flat in his last, and actually it's been pretty much consistent for the last 4 or 5 laps. Where do you think Hamilton will finish? I'm going to go with maybe 6th or 7th, I think, at this stage. This Verstappen guy. Indeed. Max's car was so quick. It is a very quick car. That there's no doubt. Max at last, Max is the only one who's not yet pitted. And let's just give a 137 flat with Verstappen with those 14 lap old tyres in comparison. So, well, actually say that Perez just lapped a 135.6 on a set of hards. So, but Russell with a 137.5, Leclerc with a 136.7. So, Piastri in a new set of hards is a 136.7. So Verstappen is starting to lap slower than those on the hard tyres now. So that's worth knowing there. Oh, sorry, just got there. How many laps to go? We are 16 laps out of 57. Come on, Max. Well, right, quick sip of a drink. Take a breather. Alonso, look how far. Alonso's second place, by the way. Look how far he is behind Verstappen. And Alonso pits. So that's the stand. Max Verstappen is out all on his own up there, and he, what can we say? What can I say? Love you, Max. Max grip is wild. Alonso really showing off. In the UK, Hussein, I am in Cambridge, in the UK, in Cambridge. Super Max. We've got a few Max fans on then, I can see. Welcome, by the way, everyone. And by the way, if you haven't already done so yet, I am live for qualifying and for races. So if you do want to keep up to date and so on, this totally amateur stream, by the way. I've got no production teams or anything like that. It's just simply me in my office doing some streaming. So as always, I appreciate the likes, subscribes, and so on and so forth. If and when you get a chance to do so. Max might take the soft till the end. Yeah, zero stop strategy. Unfortunately, in Formula One, you have to make at least one stop. You've got to run at least 2 separate compounds. So whether it be the softs and the hards, or the medium on the hards, or the medium on the softs, or whatever, you have to run 2 compounds. But I remember the days of Bridgestone tyres, and the same rules applied then. And the hard tyres, people would do all the way up till the last lap, and then change on the last lap for a different set just to do the last lap on. Red Bull just showing off their speed. They are very, 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 very quick. What's this? Alain Lewis to Lefebvre. I'm guessing that's French. I don't speak French, unfortunately, so I'll have to Google translate that. Max again, a long way in front, and I've just seen, by the way, we got a battle with the Ferraris going on. Sainz and Leclerc, they're all over each other. Max Verstappen's just been given the box. Ferrari red number 1. Do you expect a yellow flag in the next lap? Unlikely at this stage. I don't expect much at this moment, to be honest. Great stream, no, keep it up. Thank you very much, Ahmed. Red Bull's getting wild, long way in front of everyone, aren't they, the Red Bulls? I think everyone thought there might be just a little bit of a chance that we might have some close racing, but apparently not. You're doing good work. Thank you for that. No problem, Adam. Go Leclerc, go. Says you Kim. I think I pronounced that right. He'll take new softs on the last lap and take the fastest lap. He probably will, to be fair. He probably will. He is pitting now, by the way. He's just gone into the pits, Perez. Just pitting now for a new set of... Is that new? I'm trying to see the stripe on the tyre. Is that... I can't tell if it's new set. It might be a new set of softs. Is that new softs or is it new hard? Yes, but well, let me see what... Okay, so Leclerc complained he's going to the right when he's driving. I just want to see what marks they... I can't see from there. No, they are hard tyres. Hard tyres for Max Verstappen. And here comes... And that is Russell and Sainz. Sainz all over the back of Russell now. Sainz is all over the back of Russell. Russell picking up some dirt as Sainz follows along. You can just see on the top left there. Oh, and Sainz goes past... well, Russell's just easily beaten there. Easily beaten. I don't know what Russell was doing there. Totally off the racing line. So Sainz now goes past Russell. Russell is trying to fight back though. He's following in the slipstream, as you can see through the bends. But Sainz looks to have had that under control. Now, if I was a new strategy to lose, this is wild. There's not a lot going on in the front, but everywhere else there's a lot of stuff going on. What an amazing starting off the season. See you guys in 2025. There's Lex. Might be later than that, Lex, I think, and the way things are going on here. Max got her wings. Red Bull showing their true potential. Yeah, the race pace on that Red Bull was just uncomparable at the moment in time. Hoping that Ferrari will finish on the podium. Forza Ferrari, they've got a good chance, to be honest with you. I fancy Sainz to get a podium, but there's still a lot of race to go, and we've still got the McLarens in the mix. Norris is only 4 seconds off Leclerc. Why is Max out? Max isn't out. He's in. I'm missing something. Red Bull speed is crazy. They are a long way in front of everyone else. Hard tyre was a bad decision, Max. Look, that's a big lockup by one of the Ferraris. Which one is that? Is that Leclerc? That was from earlier. Yeah, so in the soft tyres there. So that's where Leclerc is struggling with braking by the looks of things. The hard, we'll have to see. Let's keep an eye on the timing. So on the screen on the left hand side, I could just show you my mouse here. These are the last lap times. The last lap time. So there, for example, a 1:57, but that was obviously because of the pit stop. So let's see what sort of lap times Perez puts out. Max will still win those. Unless there's some sort of, travesty, and I mean a travesty, then Max is going to win this race. Was Sargent doing it in front of Hamilton? I think Sargent, it was being lapped, I believe, or very close to being lapped. He had an issue, Sargent, and he was off the road for quite a while actually. How many more laps to go? We are 19 laps off 57. 19 laps completed, 57 in total to complete. Max Verstappen. It's a lot of Max fans here. A lot of Max fans. Hey man, can I get your Instagram ID? Would you believe, I'm not on Instagram yet. I'll emphasize the word yet, but I'm not on Instagram yet. I actually stream on YouTube and on Facebook, but there's a couple of technical issues, which means I can't stream on Facebook today, but normally I'm on Facebook and on YouTube. Right, let's get a state of play quickly. Fastest lap of the race, by the way. Matt, there we go. Hard tyres, brand new set. Hard lap of the race, 1:35.2. It's just, I'm assuming you're talking about the race and the fact that it's a bit of a one-horse show at the moment. Yes, brother. Oh, right, okay, so couple of things to watch out for. Norris, by the way, is now only 3.7 seconds, and Norris is closing the gap to Charles Leclerc. So Charles Leclerc is obviously struggling, but Russell's not exactly flying in now either. Leclerc, let's have a look. Lap times. Russell last lap 1:37.2. Leclerc 1:36.8. Norris 1:36.4. So at this stage, Russell was struggling a little bit on those hard tyres. Norris is actually quicker than both Leclerc and Russell in front of him. That's the one to keep an eye out for. 136.2 from Sainz in the last lap, but 135.2 from Max Verstappen. Long way in front. Long way in front. FL for Max now. Yeah, I think so. Shout out to my friends. Shout out to everyone. Welcome. Hello. Do you remember the final race of 2020 season, the Max versus Hamilton fight? I do remember it. And I think it's Max fan or not, I think we all know that race was, the outcome wasn't the right outcome. Let's put it that way. Whether you're a Hamilton fan or a Max fan, it wasn't the way to finish a race. Go Chris. Go Chris, indeed. Yes, I was been there before. Cool. I'm stressed out for real. Why is that? Is that because you're I don't know who it is you're cheering for, but are they not doing well? Where to watch for free? There is. So as far as I'm aware, I don't know of any live streaming sites where you can watch it for free. I'm watching on a subscription, a paid subscription I've got, where I'm able to watch. But I've got these graphics and whatnot set up as well, so you guys and everyone can watch it without the need of paying for a subscription. But this is as best, unfortunately, as I'm legally allowed to do. Is Gasly out of gas? You know what? The Alpine is not a good car this year. The Alpine is not a good car. 2020 season trauma unlocked. Indeed. I don't think we'll get another season on that there, to be fair. That was an actual proper racing season. The traffic, yeah, we've got a DRS train, haven't we, going on at the moment. 2020 Max Ham, 2024 Max Gangham on the track. Totally different cars, aren't they? Totally different setups. It's not the same comparison. Just not the same comparison at the moment. They're in a league of their own, Red Bulls, at the moment. So let's have a quick check on what the times are and see if there's any. Right, so Norris last lap 136.2, 136.9. I'm sorry, 136.6 and 136.9. So Norris still closing the gap now, 3.2 seconds. And Charles Leclerc he dropped a little bit off Russell there. So it's Norris is certainly eyeing Charles Leclerc up. There's no doubt that car will be getting bigger as he gets closer. Can you say Neville? Is that right? Am I saying it right? Neville? I'm guessing that's how you wanted me to say it. Oh boy. 2 Lewis Hamilton. I don't know what tune I'm supposed to be singing that to, by the way. So, state of play. Verstappen leads, obviously, and the gap is 8.9 seconds back to Perez, who is 2.4 seconds to Carlos Sainz, who is 4.2 seconds to George Russell. Charles Leclerc's trying to stay with Russell. It was a little bit closer, then and then he dropped back off a little bit. 1.2 seconds. He'll be trying to get 1.3. Obviously, the idea is to get within a second of the car in front. Norris is 2.9, so Norris is now under 3 seconds from Charles Leclerc. Keep an eye on that, because in a few laps times that could be a good battle to keep an eye out for. A few more comments here. Max and Nico can get together. Yes, that would be an interesting. Hi, welcome. Hello. Dude, I miss Ferrari. What do you think then of Hamilton? Because no one's really talked about this so far on the stream, and nor have I, but Hamilton to Ferrari. Who saw that? Who had that on their bingo cards in the winter months? Is that the right move? Is it the right? In fact, I tell you, there's two elements to that question. Number one, is it the right move for Hamilton to go to Ferrari? Number two, is it the right move for Ferrari to replace Charles Leclerc with Hamilton? Sorry, to replace Carlos Sainz with Hamilton instead of Charles Leclerc? Great work from there, man. Thank you. No problem at all. I hope, I hope everyone enjoys the stream, and hopefully we'll see all of you back again and again as each race weekend ticks off. No, it's the thing. So it's not the right move for Hamilton, or it shouldn't replace Carlos Sainz. What do you think would be the drive for Mercedes in 2025? That is now the $1 million question. My sneaky gut feeling could be Alonso. I'm not sure they'll go for a young driver straight away. I think they need a good season next season. Without Hamilton, they need someone with a bit more experience. George Russell's not quite there yet, in my opinion, to be the outright, okay, let's put everything on a George Russell bag. I think they've got doubts about George Russell, so I don't think they want to commit to, okay, we're going to put all our resources into making George Russell our number one driver. I don't think they're there yet. CW, I'm not... What's CW? What's that for? Lewis Hamilton is crazy, but they can't just replace Carlos Sainz. Do you know what? Carlos Sainz, I think, has done a really good job in that Ferrari, and that's why I'm a little bit sort of like, in fact, I would argue Carlos Sainz has been better than Charles Leclerc in the last, certainly the last 6 months of last season, and that's the start of this season, as you can see. Are they replacing them? If they're going to replace, if they want to bring, I can understand why Ferrari want to bring Lewis Hamilton in. I think that's an obvious choice from their part, but I'm just not convinced that replacing Carlos Sainz was the right answer there, in my view. Feeling bad for Hulkenberg. Yeah, it's a lonely race when you've had to change your front wing and so on. Where do you think Sainz will go? I at this stage, I'm not sure. I mean, it could go to Mercedes, but I just don't think it's something. I don't think it's a move Toto Wolff wants. It's a tough one. And even Checo's been declined his contract. Well, look, it could be that Carlos Sainz, by the way, ends up at Red Bull. Just an FYI there. And don't forget, Carlos Sainz has driven Red Bull before. Keep an eye out for that one. That could be a story that goes along. Giga Chad Alonso to Merck. Yeah, and that's definitely, I think, a possibility. Hello, Insane Military. Welcome. And Unwanted Eds, hi again. Do Max Verstappen. Lots of, like I said, Alonso to Merck. We've gone through that, I think, already. Where do you think Sainz will go? Am I reading these all? I remember I'm getting messages twice. Max is the GOAT. I think it's an argument, but I also think it's an argument about, obviously, the likes of Hamilton and Schumacher. No Lewis Hamilton. Bro, don't want Max to lead. I want Lewis to lead. He needs a better car then, so we have to say that. He will need a better car. I'm just, by the way, 2.5 seconds now, Norris to Leclerc. That's the one I'm watching out for. You can just see Norris and Leclerc are just coming down along here. There's Russell, who's dropped off Sainz quite a bit. There's Leclerc, there's Norris. 2.5 seconds. That was 4 seconds not long ago. Keep an eye on that one. That's about to keep an eye on. Get ready to hear Dutch Anthem for 24 times this year. We can hope. We have to hope. We have to hope that something is going to happen. The racing gods are going to deliver us some racing, hopefully. Oh, we just missed a comment there. Kimi Antalya in Merck in 2025. There are rumours, but I think, given Mercedes have been off the pace for the last 2 or 3 years, I think they may fancy the experience for a year or two. And to be honest, I don't see George Russell staying there long term. So it could be that they bring in Alonso and perhaps George Russell might find his seat going. I'm just floating it out there. Is Lewis closing the gap in front? Lewis Hamilton is currently 3 seconds off Piastri. The last lap, Piastri done a 1:37 flat and Hamilton done a 1:36.9. So he was only a tenth quicker and he's 3 seconds behind. So not really is the answer to that one at this stage. Let's see. I got. So I might have missed a couple of comments here. There we go. To Max Verstappen. More Max Verstappen. I don't want to think about Carlos getting his contract for Red Bull. I don't think so about Carlos. Watch this space. All I'm saying is watch this space. We know Perez is under pressure. Carlos Sainz knows Red Bull. He's clearly proved himself as a very capable driver. And Red Bull, whoever they bring in, let's be honest, is going to be second fiddle to Max Verstappen. Just remember that as well. Just remember that. I was upset when I found out Lewis was in Ferrari in 25. I don't want to. It's very easy to sit there and say, you know what, that's a bad move. Didn't want that. But all I would say is just let's give it a little bit of time to settle in and see if because it may well actually be, it could be proved to be a bit of a masterstroke from Lewis Hamilton. We just don't know yet. What happened to Sargent? Sargent just basically pulled off side of the road, literally on the runoff area. Was sat there for about 20 seconds, turned around and went back on track again. I'm assuming a technical error, but I'm not entirely sure. What do I think about it? In terms of Carlos Sainz or in terms of Lewis Hamilton? Lewis Hamilton going to Ferrari is, I get it from his perspective. I get it. I get why he wants to do that. Look, at the end of the day, he's not in a Red Bull, and Red Bull of car, as we're seeing now, is so far in front. You know, why go and sit there trying to get third or fourth on a Mercedes when, you know, if you go somewhere like Ferrari, perhaps they sold a presentation that looked better. Perhaps he looked at their car and thought, you know what, this is going to be better in 2 or 3 years' time. We don't know what conversations have had behind the scenes, but I don't think Lewis Hamilton just would have gone up and gone, oh, you know what, I fancy going to Ferrari. I think there's more to it. The gap between Max and others is terrifying. 13 seconds in front of Perez, and he's 15 seconds in front of Carlos Sainz. Nearly a pit stop in front, and we're 27 laps through. So it is, yeah. Unwanted edits. No, there is no official broadcasting channel in India. Really? That's interesting. I did not know that. That's probably why I've got quite a few people from India on today. Did not know that. But that's saying that though, I do know that there are other countries that I've heard people come on and say, I think last year after the Qatari race, there were some people who were watching the Qatari race who were in Qatar, and the next week couldn't watch the race because Qatar, the TV stations there don't show every race, but they show the Qatari race because it was in Qatar. FRR, I'm not sure what that abbreviates to, but Max will crash. I would if Max look, an on-stream promise here, if Max crashes today, I will sit for the rest of the stream with my clothes off. There we go. How's that for a promise? No, I know you all sat there thinking, go on, Max, crash, but I'm so confident it's not going to happen. Stavik, you just have to admit that Max is better than Lewis at this point of the race. I think the thing is, it's very hard to determine a driver's race ability because so much is dependent on cars as well. And I think if you had Verstappen and Hamilton in exactly the same car, that's the only real way really you're going to find out who's actually the quicker driver. Where do you think Lewis will finish in, or what do you think Lewis will finish in? I think he is probably going to finish around 7th or 8th, if I'm being honest. What happened to Sargent? Oh, so I think I might explain it a minute ago. Pulled off into the run off area at the end of turn 1. Not sure what it is. Maybe a mechanical thing, and then he did rejoin the race, but it was sat for about 20 seconds. What do you think about Danny Ricciardo? I think he's at where is he now? Is that RB Visa app cash thing, whatever you want to call it? And I think it's probably about the right seat for him. I don't really see him going on to a higher up. You know, he's been at Mercedes, he's been at what was Renault, and so on. Good cars there, and I just don't think he's really. He's a good, solid driver, but he's not going to over-exceed the car, if that makes sense. He's not going to get every last drop like a Lando Norris would, for example, in my view. How many laps left? We're 29 out of 57, so we got about 28 laps left. What lap is this? We're lap 29 out of 57. Ferrari, please go back. Hull taking the lead again. How many laps are left? So we just went through that. Any thought on Carlos winning? I don't see it happening, frankly, at this stage. Look at the gap there. I mean, Verstappen can park up, have a cup of coffee, quick cigarette, you know, and he'll still be out in front. Such as the gap. Can Lewis do a comeback? The only thing I would say, look, with the Bahrain Grand Prix, it's not the circuit isn't the most common circuit. So there are plenty of other circuits which will suit characteristics, particularly of cars like Mercedes, a lot better going forward. The gap between Hulkenberg and Max is currently 81.8 seconds. There we go. But I'm bored seeing Max winning all the time. We need drama. Absolutely, I agree. Can Joe keep up with P10? He's doing a good drive there in P10. He is currently 4 seconds in front of Magnussen. I would say at this stage, yes, he's got a good chance. Got a good shout. Is Max going to pit? He's already pitted. He's on 12 lap old hard tyres, having started on the softs. Max has already borrowed for hands. If I already boxed for hands and just going to pit again. Yeah. I wonder if everyone's going to try and get to the end of the race on this, or someone might. I suspect Verstappen might come in and whack on a brand new set of softs later on and try and get a fast lap. Max or Goats? Whom do you to love? Max or Goats? Who's the GOAT? How many laps more, sir? We're currently on lap 30, 27 laps to go. Okay, bro. Hi, Cats, says the Verts. If Lewis wins, you will do this. If Lewis, yeah, I will. I will. I'll do that if Lewis wins. You are the Verts. I don't know what that means. If Max was in Merc, will he be in P20? No. You know what? The other thing as well we have to remember is that Red Bull car is designed specifically, and I mean specifically, to Max's driving style. If he went and jumped in a Merc, for example, it would feel so different, he would struggle. Just because it wouldn't be his comfort zone. It'd be like, if you imagine driving a Ford for 50 years and so on, and all of a sudden you jumped in a Peugeot, it's going to feel a little bit different. You might be able to get used to it, but it won't feel right straight away. Right, yeah, on this era, Max is actually unstoppable, but you can't compare him to Lewis 7-time era. Yeah, it's different times. Different times. I know it's hard for British people to accept Max is better than Hamilton. No, I don't think it's a case of accepting. I think 7 world titles speaks for itself, in my view. Could Lando win a race this season? I hope so. I hope so. But on that note, by the way, I would say Lando Norris is probably the best driver out there not to have won a race yet. I'm in a plane, taxiing for takeoff. But I can't see the gap. So let me know who you want to see the gap to. At the moment, the gap is 16 seconds to Perez. Norris is currently 2.5 seconds off Leclerc. 2.2 seconds off Leclerc. We were keeping an eye on that. We'll keep an eye on that for a little bit longer as well. Where do you think Carlos will be driving 2025? Sneaky feeling of Red Bull. It's my what's the word? That's my secret weapon type thing. That's what I'm going to guess now. Calling it first. Calling it here on the F1 Fan Zone on Bahrain 2024 that Carlos Sainz will be here next year for Red Bull. There we go. What happened to Charles? Just not having much luck on the car. Looking for grip. By the way, into the pits, by the way, is George Russell in the pits on a new set of... So there we go. We wondered how long those hard tyres were going to last for, and for Russell, they didn't last long at all. Bottas is having some issues. Ooh, that's just about safe enough there from... Bottas was in the pits for 52 seconds. That would have hurt. Go Ferrari. We've got quite a few Go Ferraris there. And definitely a Go Ferrari. Max and Merc, he would definitely beat Russell. Probably in the end, just remember, like I said, it is, Russell knows that car and where its strengths and weaknesses are. Max doesn't, so he wouldn't necessarily have the confidence to be able to throw it into a bend at full speed, for example. I have a question in pre-season testing too. Lewis did better than Max, but in the quali and the races, not doing so great. So many things can change in a week, in particular track conditions. It's a little bit cool. It's a little bit warmer now than it was, for example, on Friday in practice. When the Thursday evening practice, it was cold enough that everyone was wearing jackets, and Mercedes worked better in the cooler conditions. That's a starting point. Also, the wind direction is totally different now and so on. So it's a lot of different changes. Can we agree this has been the best race of the season? Been the only race of the season. I hope this isn't the best race of the season because it's, not when you're the lead driver. You've got Red Bull 1-2 in there and Verstappen's 20 seconds off Sainz in third. This car's actually bullshit this time. Yeah, not the best. Honestly, I love Ferrari and they wanted Lewis because they want to win. I understand, but what do you think happened to Carlos Sainz though? I think Carlos Sainz has a right to feel a little bit annoyed because I think he's actually been outperforming Charles Leclerc. So I don't think he'll struggle to get a seat. I just think where though. When would Hamilton win, guys? Probably when he's got a car that's quick enough. In all honesty, you think Carlos might drive for Audi in 2025? It's a good shout actually. It's a good shout. If you're Audi and you're trying to make a name in your first season back in the sport and so on, Carlos Sainz isn't a bad driver to go and get. Yeah, I mean that would make sense as well when you think about it. I'm sure Max will be having more champagne than Hamilton. He's 33. More hangovers too. Insane military is my brother, and we made a bet as I support Lewis and support Max. And if Max wins, I will support Max for the next season. 25. If Lewis wins, he'll support Lewis. I think it's a safe bet for your brother there. I think. For lapping Ocon, watch out. Yeah, I tell you, those Alpines, by the way, are awful this year. Awful. Dale Checo, hello. How many laps left? We are currently on lap 34 of 57. Checo doing some good consistent time on hards. Yes. Last lap was a 136.5. Sainz was 136.5. Leclerc was 136.7. And Piastri was 137 flat. Nice in the pit, by the way, with Hamilton. And I'm just seeing, is that Russell on Alonso? I think I've just seen George Russell's just gone past Fernando Alonso. Obviously, Russell is in a brand new set of tyres. Here comes Lando Norris out to join the party. Back on a set of new hard tyres himself. Alonso having a tough battle against Mercedes right now. Yeah, these the Aston Martin's race pace just isn't quite there this time round. Max says, what is wrong with Merck? I'm getting sick of Max leading the race. I think a lot of people are. Mercedes had an awful start. Red Bull's just more ahead of them now. They look more ahead, I'll be honest, now than they did at the start of last season. That is definitely for sure. F1 is now born because Max is always winning. There is no challenge for the race for Max. So look, this is the problem that we've had over the last couple of years. The new regulations have a spend cap, so teams can only spend a certain amount of money. And the idea was that if all the teams had exactly the same amount of money to spend, all the teams would be sort of making a similar sort of car and so on, and you'd have a lot closer racing. The problem is when you get a situation where you've got like Red Bull and Verstappen are so far in front, previously what a team would do would go and say, okay, let's chuck $100 million at it and build a brand new car again and just go at it again and so on. But because of the spending caps, you can't. So everyone sat there at the time with their hands behind their back thinking, we need to be able to develop better parts for the car to catch up with the Red Bull, but we can't because we're constrained by spending caps. That is basically the problem at the moment. Yeah, wait for the great Latifi comeback. Nicholas Latifi. The legend of Nicholas Latifi. Maybe there'll be a new challenger for Max in 2025. Ooh, I was just seeing one. Who's that? That is Piastri and Hamilton. Piastri as Hamilton's in front of Piastri. Piastri got caught out with the undercut there. So Hamilton pitted and then Piastri pitted after and he's come out behind Hamilton. But Piastri has obviously got much cooler tyres at this moment in time. He needs to warm those tyres up a little bit before he can catch up. So Hamilton is up into P8. He's a few seconds off Lando Norris, though, who is only 1.1 seconds. He's nearly... I said keep an eye out on Lando Norris. Lando Norris is only 1.1 seconds now behind, or in front, behind Leclerc. Keep an eye on that. Yeah, hope so, buddy. Laps, we are on lap 36. But bro, my brother make my laptop because we are fighting on who will win. But you break your laptop. Interesting. And what is going on here? This internet's dropped. I want to check my internet. It's saying it's an internet. I forgot. Connection is unstable. Let me just check the Wi-Fi here. Leclerc back to P6. Temporarily. And what happened to the promising Mercedes? Not so promising in these warmer conditions. Clearly it's a car suited for the colder conditions. Do you think the Audi has potential aerodynamically? I would say it's going to take them a couple of seasons, if we're being honest. It's going to take a couple of seasons because it takes that time for all your staff to get up to date of what, in terms of the building the car designs and so on. It's bringing a car to an F1, whatever manufacturer you are. If BMW just suddenly decided to bring in a branded car, or we've got Aston Martin, I don't know, Maserati or someone like that, who, any of these famous car makers, well, they can't just come in and build a car. It takes time, it takes knowledge. And fastest lap of the race, by the way, 134.4, Lando Norris, who is now what happened there then? So he was a second, but now he's 2 seconds off Leclerc, but he's got a fastest lap there for 134.4. Carlos Sainz is right on the back of Sergio Perez now, by the way, all over the back. Leclerc just goes for the fastest lap, by the way. Fastest lap for Charles Leclerc now. What happened to Charles? Charles he's just got fastest lap of the race, but he struggled for grip throughout the race, basically. Top speed of Merc so far, yeah. I swear, if Alonso enters the race on P3 or P2, I will go and swim in the cold lake that's just near my house. It's a safe bet to say that's not going to happen, I'm going to say at this stage. What's up with McLaren today? They're currently in, 6th and 8th. Different strategies there. That's not the net position. They said they were looking around sort of 4th, 5th, 6th. It's not. Don't forget this circuit is not a McLaren circuit. The McLarens like the fast, medium, fast and medium bends. This isn't quite the. Bahrain has never been a track that's really suited their car, to be honest. Remember last year, though, like near the back of the grid. Remember this time last year. How many more laps? We are on 38 of 57, so we have got 19 laps to go. Oh, would you believe it? Midstream and the internet starts playing up. Would you believe it? The gap between Max and P20, what is that even? It's a lap. 1 lap as it stands. One best match sport, not best sport in the world. F1 best match sport, not best sport in the world. What is the best sport in the world? Is it football or soccer, depending on where you're watching it from? I mean, I personally love F1 because it's a totally different type of... It's a different culture, isn't it? Different type of event. It's not... I do like a football. If you watch my... if you ever... for those who've ever follow me on Facebook, by the way, you'll know I also go to football matches as well. 19 laps to go. Verstappen on softs. Red Bull gambling there. Well, he done 15, 16 laps earlier. Tough one to call. It's tough one to call. It's an interesting call. But they're so far in front, they're probably looking at it and thinking, we'll just coast along, I suspect. So I'm just keeping an eye on the timings there. So 1:35.3 for Sainz, 1:35.4 for Russell, 1:34 1:08 for Leclerc. So Leclerc is catching up. Norris is 1:35 flat. So Norris is dropping off a little bit from Leclerc now at this stage. So now we're getting, obviously the car changes all the time, because as it uses and burns up fuel, the characteristics of the car becomes different. Just seeing Alonso on, is that Hamilton? Or is that Hamilton and Alonso? Oh, I can't tell which one it was there. It must be Hamilton or Alonso. Hamilton up to P7. I thought I saw the Alonso going past Hamilton. It's the other way round. This race is just a piece of cake for Red Bull. It is, unfortunately. Who is Fave Dynamate's Fave Driver, sorry. Lando Norris, I'm going to go with for my personal, because I think he's a quality driver. Best driver not to have won a race yet. Smooth operator. And Hamilton, says Lex. It's, straight past Alonso there. DRS enabled. And also Alonso's on 23 lap old tyres. Hamilton's on 5 lap old tyres. Wasn't really a fight, to be honest, as opposed to an absolute mugging. Which lap are we on? So we are currently on lap 40 or 57. 17 laps to go. 17 laps to go. I wonder if I can get a graphic for the next stream where I can put how many laps we're on. I'll have a look. I'll invest. I'll have a look and see if for the next. So what I do appreciate, by the way, I do like feedback, and I do like to see, so I can try and make sure I've customized everything so that all the information is there. So I will keep an eye on that. I'll try and look and see if I can add something, maybe just in the gap here of what lap we're on, something like that for the next race. Lewis forgot what is speed. Yeah, well, they say as you get older, we have to remember Lewis Hamilton's not a spring chicken now. He's not the youngest. And I'm trying to see what emoji that is. I can't see what emoji that is. Maybe I'm being blind. Okay, so we are on lap 40 still. Still on lap 40 or 57. Max Verstappen's just got the fastest lap of the race, 132.6. A 132.6. And while he's lapping his 132s, Perez is lapping 134, Sainz is 134, Russell's 135, Leclerc's 135, Norris is 134, so we all just pack them and go home. I think it's just a bad race. Not the greatest. Bahrain isn't. I will say one thing. Bahrain's not known for being the best circuit for racing. No race is a bad race. Yeah, dude, I think you need to put it up means the laps. Okay, I will look at putting lap times on somewhere on the screen, maybe at the top, maybe at the bottom, something like that for the next race. It was a heart emoji. Is that what it is? I couldn't quite see. It's because I'm watching. I've got quite a large curved screen. I've got everything on, and because of having the actual race on as well, I wish I could show you. I might put a picture up on it if you follow me on Facebook. But my studio, I've got a big screen, and I can see all the comments, but sometimes I can't always quite see the emojis, the little things. Bad race where a tragedy happens. I take it that you're not enjoying this race, Coffee. It's too easy for Red Bull at the moment. Yes, I think the other cars will be looking and saying, "Bloody hell!" I mean, how do you catch them up? They are so far in front of everyone else. Verstappen is already a lap on. He's already lapped Bottas and Sargent. He's right beyond Gasly. I mean, the Alpines are going to be lapped before long here. Can't stay fair, so he's just taking his foot off the gap for Verstappen. It's a 1:35.2 now. He's actually lapping a little bit slower. I wonder if he's put a little bit too much into those tyres to get the fastest lap there. He's got a long way to go on those soft tyres. Followed by Perez, followed by Sainz. Sainz currently 3 seconds behind Perez. Russell 8 seconds behind Sainz. Leclerc just 1.1 seconds now. Leclerc was almost in DRS range. Hamilton 3.3 seconds further back. What we need here is Russell to hold up Leclerc just long enough for Lando Norris perhaps to get involved in the action as well. Wouldn't that be nice? Please, anyone give Lewis a jet booster. I think he needs more than that. I think he needs jet fuel on top of everything else. Perez can't seem to run away from signs. I think what Perez will say is it's a very managed gap, three and a bit seconds. I think is what he'll probably say. I want to try Bottas's hairstyle. I can't imagine. I can't imagine having that sort of hairstyle. And I just had my haircuts there as well. I should have gone for. I'll have the Bottas look, please. Alonso's just coming out of the pits, by the way, in P. So look, let's have how he's dropped. He's now in P11, and is he going to drop further? Got cold tyres on. He's got Magnussen right behind him. He will have a nice set of tyres, but the tyres don't chase those in front of him. But Lance Stroll then P9, by the way. What we got here? So Hamilton 4.8 seconds off Norris. That's not really changing there. Piastri 3.7 of Hamilton. Leclerc is now within a second of Russell. Let's keep an eye on that one then. That's the battle to look out for. Down the back straight here. As I'm doing my whole weatherman thing, so he's going to have DRS down the back straight, down the pit straight, all the way down. And I'm just watching now. He's a bit too far back. Is he going to make it stick down? A bit too far back. He is right behind him. He's right behind him now. He's all over the back of his gearbox. So he is. Surely it's a matter of time here before Leclerc gets past Russell. But I'm just going to keep an eye on that battle. Will slow both drivers down just enough, perhaps, for Norris to close the gap a little bit. He's currently 3.8 seconds Norris off that battle. 1:35.1 in his last lap. Not the best. I'm assuming those on the hard tyres are going to go all the way to the end now. Leclerc and Russell having a great battle there. It is looking like a very good battle. As you can see, they're just coming along. There they are, over the corner there. And I can see Russell struggling in the bends. He hasn't got the grip, I don't think. Yeah, here comes Leclerc with DRS wide open, but it's not long. The straight's not long enough there. This is where Leclerc needs to be able to follow closely round these bends. Make sure you're getting a good exit into the back straight at the top there. That's where Leclerc's going to be looking to get. And then obviously by the time you get DRS enabled, making sure he's got a very nice wide line, probably a little bit too wide there, Leclerc. He will have DRS going down this back straight, but clearly he's not able to follow, because by the time he gets to by the time he gets to the top straight, he's just lost some time to George Russell, who's better through that section of bends. He's actually a lot further back this time round. So that's where he needs. He needs the good line. It looked like he was a little bit too wide going into the back straight. Looked like a little bit too wide. Carlos Sainz team radio. When do we expect the hard tyre to be quicker than the soft? Is that possible? What he means by that, by the way, is obviously the soft tyres and Verstappen and Perez. They're on soft tyres. They're expecting, presumably then, for the softs to wear off and for the hard tyre to become quicker at some point. 3.2 seconds to gap. Keep an eye on that one, because it's a good point. It's a good point there. What lap is it now? We are on lap 44 of 57, and Fernando Alonso on Zhou Guanyu there. What's everyone think of, by the way, of the colour scheme of that Kick Sauber? To me, it looks like a massive bit of snow. Here comes Alonso, by the way, going up past Zhou Guanyu. He'll take the lead into that, or he'll get past in the bend. To me, it looks like a flying bit of bogey. Like a bit of snot shooting around the track. Look at the green on it. I don't like it. It's like something out of Mars Attack. It really is. Verstappen lapping everyone pretty much. He's lapped whole lap to Hulkenberg, so Ocon's the next one as Gasly pits. Hello from Kiev. Welcome from Kiev. And Forza Ukraine, I guess. Glory Ukraine. Welcome though from Kiev. Russell Slade. Russell Slade, yeah, it's about right and all. Lap 45 of 57. Will Lewis catch up Lando in the final lap? He's not. So the last lap, 135.1, 135.3. It doesn't look overly likely at this stage. Please update laps regularly. Will do, Hussein. Will do. Hello from India. I don't know what that pronounces there. I don't. I'm guessing that's some sort of. I think it might be Russian. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. 45.57. Yeah, we are on lap 45 of 57. I just wonder if I can. I will have a graphic for the next race on laps. By the way, I will have. We're on lap 46 now. And on lap 46, on that note, 3.2 seconds still to get from Sainz. He lapped to 134.5 and Perez lapped to 144.34.7. So Sainz was slightly quicker in that last lap, as we've got 11 laps now to go. Let's keep an eye on that, because it's 134.7 and 134.5. So there's not a great deal in time, a little bit back and forth with Perez and Sainz. Certainly at this stage, the soft tyres running as quick as the hard ones. They're sort of fairly level. Here comes Leclerc though, a little bit closer this time to George Russell, but not close enough as to make the end of the pit straight. It's not quite there. Doesn't have the grip. Doesn't have the grip coming out through this section here. He loses time behind George Russell. He might need to look elsewhere. He's coming up the back straight here, sorry, the front straight at the far end there. But he just doesn't quite, he can't quite get close enough. The Mercedes seems to be better, by the way, in a straight line this year. Big fan, bro. Welcome. Off Lewis. All right, what's that say? I'll be watching soon, bro. Good stuff. You are a very good man. Thank you. I'm hoping you're talking about me. Thank you. Russell has just gone off the track. Where's Russell going? Russell was all out of shape. Leclerc now goes past Russell. Russell was all out of shape. I don't know where he was going. He was totally off the track. He was off the side of the track. Now he's, Now looks at Norris is currently 3.7 seconds behind. Let's see if they can start closing down the gap there. But I don't know what on earth, where George Russell's going. I'm just seeing a replay of it. So Leclerc come up behind, and then it's a big lock-up by George Russell. Big lock-up, went off the track, was going along sort of parallel to the side of the track. But what you do is you hit 200 subs. Please do something crazy. I think I've already hit 200 subs, actually. I think I'm at 216 last time I checked. I wanted to. The goal for me is to get to 1,000. To 1,000 subs. 220 I'm at to now. Thanks for everyone, by the way, who has subscribed to me today. It's a busy stream, which is good. Love to see it. Let's have a quick look on here. Bottas, let's just come across the line. So Alonso and Stroll there, 9th and 10th. Presumably Stroll is going to get the move out the way for Alonso, I suspect. I would have thought. And so 3.5 seconds Sainz Perez. That's not changing at all. Russell is now second behind Leclerc, so Leclerc is off into the distance. Norris is 3.2 seconds of Russell. That might be one to watch out for here, you know. Shit, Leclerc, yeah. No, he's got past Russell, but Russell made it a bit easier for him by failing to keep on the track. Thanks for showing these. You are welcome. You know what? I absolutely love doing these streams. And towards the back end of last year, particularly on Facebook, I was getting a lot of views. And obviously, there's I don't know too many people who do what I do here. I know there are people that will do live streams with the timings and whatnot, but not quite to the extent that I do it. Sainz will have a good season. I can smell it. Also because he needs it. I think he will have a good season. I would wager a bet now that I think he finishes ahead of Leclerc in the World Championship this season. Done, bro. Thank you very much. Yuppie Leclerc. What's there with Red Bull? The other cars don't have. Secret Weapon, Adrian Newey. Secret Weapon, Adrian Newey. Do you have Instagram? I do not have Instagram yet, But everyone keeps saying to me about Instagram, and I've got Facebook, but perhaps I should set up an Instagram channel. And I think I can. So I've got a virtual studio here, by the way. So I should be able to stream to Instagram as well. So I might have to look into that as well as we progress throughout the season. But certainly I'm going to sort out the layout. We're on lap 48, by the way. And I'm going to sort out the layout so that we can have somewhere where the laps are clear and visible. Red Bull got wings. Other cars don't have. They got something in that fuel. At Victor, the driver, mate. Yeah, well, arguably, yeah. Max, Super Max. 2 Max. What lap are we on? Lap 49 now. 49 off 57. Fred is rubbing his stomach. Lap 49, there we go. Red Bull car's got wings. Lap 49, 57 again. Yep, so we are on lap 49 of 57. And last closing laps, really, what to keep an eye on. And I think Norris on Russell is one to keep an eye out for. That's 2.9 seconds now, so under 3 seconds. Russell's starting to struggle a little bit on those tyres. They are a couple of laps older than Lando Norris, but Russell's also used them a bit more in defence, whereas Norris has sort of been able to keep it relatively in control of those tyres. Not had a great deal of battle to do, so to speak. Hamilton's currently 4.1 seconds off Norris. I don't see much going on there. And same with Piastri. To be honest, the way I look at this stage now, the only battle I can see going on in the top 10 is Norris potentially getting past Russell. Potentially. That is it. Because everywhere else, it's big gaps. 18 seconds from Perez to Verstappen. Another 3.9 seconds to Sainz, who's 12 seconds ahead of Leclerc, who's now 2.5 seconds in front of Russell. So, and Lando Norris now 2.6. In fact, lap times, let's wait until they come lap. The last lap, Russell was 1:36 and Norris was 1:35.7. Let's see what those lap times are at the end of this laps when they come back through the start-finish line here. No Lexi on any driver at this level can with that car. I mean, I would say it's the car is we have to remember the car is designed specifically for Max's driving style as well. Hamilton is taking it easy. Yep, just giving Max a head start. We'll go with that. we'll go with that one. Imagine if Verstappen laps Ricciardo. Where's Ricciardo at the moment? He is, so it's Verstappen, Ricciardo. It's not miles off. It's not miles off. Oh, we just went the wrong way there. What lap are we on? We are on lap 50 of 57. Yeah, lap 50 of 57. Victor, but we can't deny that the potential of Max first is actually switch of the others at this time. So the last lap times was Norris then. We said about Russell Norris 1:35.9 to Norris 1:35.6. So although Norris this lap has dropped off a little bit, 2.3. Oh, he's right behind Russell there. He's right behind. There's a chance there. There's a chance for Norris on Russell on this. That's the one I'm keeping an eye out on. Amount of drink, can you believe I've got no drink left in my bottle and my glass is bloody empty. What's going on here? Call yourself a host, Ben. Oh dear, right. So, the only battle in the top 10 I can see potentially happening at the stage is Norris Russell. It's 2 seconds now, the gap. Lap 51, 6 laps to go. 6 laps to go, and Norris is now 2.1 seconds off Russell. So there is a gap there closing. Norris will get the benefit of slipstream now. He won't get DRS down this back straight, but within a couple of seconds there will be some slipstream there that he should be able to benefit from. Let's keep an eye on that. Long way back, by the way. The top 8, if you like, the McLarens. So we thought at the start of the season, we said, look, Red Bull, Ferrari, Mercedes, McLarens were going to be your top 4 cars. Look how far Piastri is with the McLaren to Alonso, 24 seconds. So the top 4 cars or the top 4 teams are miles ahead of everyone else as well. I think Hamilton is not serious about the first race. don't you think they should do like a handicap thing? Like if you win a certain number of races, that you'd have to put like sandbags in your car. Ricardo team radio, just by the way, and nothing was said. Hamilton doesn't eat cereal, that's why. He's a serious about the race, but he only qualified on P9. Everyone is serious about the race. Yeah, look, we have to remember these are seasoned professionals that are doing this. And I'm sure Lewis Hamilton wants to be winning races. I'm pretty sure he's not sat there feet up thinking, well, it's another 15 million quid for the year. Well, he might be actually, but I doubt it. Gap now, Norris to Russell is 2.2 seconds. That isn't really, so Russell perhaps finding a little bit of extra pace there to keep himself. Hamilton now, by the way, 3.8 seconds, but I don't think that's a it looks to me like perhaps every top 10 is done, isn't it, really? Lance Stroll 7 seconds behind. Though we've got basically really no quick racing. I mean, Verstappen's about to lap Ricciardo, actually. I think it is. Yeah, Verstappen is about to lap Ricciardo. We are on lap 52 of 57. I am on Facebook. I do stream on Facebook. I'm not this weekend just because of a few technical issues that I had, which will be resolved for next weekend. Don't forget, we've got Saudi Arabia next weekend, so we'll be live for qualifying on a Friday, live for the race on a Saturday as per. Hope that everyone will join for that. Yeah, Max is very aggressive and consistency when driving that car. Look, Max Verstappen made a lot of mistakes when he was younger. I do find that Max is, if he's not out front with a 20-second gap, he's not the best defensive driver. In fact, he's a bit naughty when it comes to defending. Lap 55, 57. Yeah, I'm totally agree with you. I think Max is on another race with 19th and 20th. Yeah. It's the only bit of action he's had, really, isn't it, when he's lapped a car? On lap 53 now. We are on lap 53 of 57. And just having a look at gaps here. 2 seconds. Norris to Russell. 3.4 seconds. Hamilton to Norris. There's just not a lot going on. Perez 4. So look at this is the gap. 20 seconds, 4 seconds, 12 seconds, 4 seconds, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 22 seconds, 10 seconds, 7 seconds a second. There's just massive gaps between every car. I mean, it's terrible. This is not what the FIA wanted when they made these rules for this era. This wasn't what it was supposed to bloody be. Which is just glorified formation laps now, aren't they? Really, let's be honest. There's not a lot of racing going out there. Verstappen is lapping, by the way, Ricciardo, I think. Yeah, Ricciardo has now been lapped. There we go. Someone said earlier about the thing. Ricciardo has now been lapped. Verstappen overtook Rick. Yes, indeed. There we go. Lap 54 of 57. Josh Verstappen there watching on. Who is fastest lap is currently Max Verstappen. So yeah, I want Hamilton to take the W because he is going to Ferrari. We were discussing about the Hamilton Ferrari earlier, actually. Out Ricciardo, that will sting. There's no doubt that will feel a little bit of a sting. But I'm sure he'll be crying all the way to the bank. If being honest, I'd be, I've just been overtaken by Max Verstappen. I'm just going to go and buy another house and another car. Oscar Piastri crossing the line there, and so gaps now 1.8 seconds. Norris to Russell, too little, too late. I think it's only 3 laps to go. We're on lap 54 of 57. Hamilton is 3.1 seconds back. So I mean, lap times here: 1:35.9 Russell, 1:35.7 Norris, and 1:35.5 Hamilton. Hasn't paid off for him, is it? The setup for Hamilton's time round. For slaying, yeah. How many laps left? 3 laps left. Can Carlos do it? No. I mean, he's 3.5 seconds off Perez at the moment. I'm just looking at lap times, 1:35.2, 1:35.8. Just not enough time. Just not enough time for anything to happen at this stage, I don't think. 2 laps left now. Yeah, we've just started lap 55. Verstappen crossing the line there a few seconds ago was the start of lap 55 of 57. Carlos Sainz is getting a little bit of DRS toe down the because of Ocon, but 3.5 seconds to gap there. 1.7 seconds now, Norris to Russell. He is closing, Norris. Hopefully, can he get within a second on the last lap? That would be something interesting. If Norris can get within a second on the last lap of Russell, the gap currently is 1.8. We'll have a bit of slipstream down the back straight there, or down the pit straight even. Let's see what times, if the times come down a bit. 1.7 seconds there. Max is going to overtake Zhou Yu. He has taken. He's already gone. Next up, by the way, for Max Verstappen is Lance Stroll, and then Max would have lapped everyone outside of the top 10. Crazy Max. Do Max. What's your prediction? At this stage, I'm predicting, and it's a tough one, but I'm going to guess that Max Verstappen's going to win. Verstappen literally lapping half grid. Quite literally. How many laps from Max? So we're on lap 56, by the way. So 2 laps to go. He owns the track. The car is just so much quicker than, I mean, so much quicker. As Perez comes down to start his last lap 56 as well, and Carlos Sainz gap there, 3.3 seconds, not really enough in there to make that work for anything to happen there. Norris is currently 1.8 seconds behind Russell. Hamilton's 2.7 seconds behind Norris. I just don't see where there's any more stuff going to come from, to be honest with you. Max is going to finish early, and we'll watch the race for the second position. Yeah, pretty much. He'll be parked up with the microphone waiting to do his pre-stand interview. Going, come on, I ain't got all bloody day. Who is first is Max Verstappen at the moment. Max just practicing. Might as well be. Bro Verstappen going crazy. And Max Verstappen wins the Bahrain Grand Prix. Good night. Pretty much with 2 laps to go. We're still on lap 56. Stroll is running for Max. Stroll is... Let's have a look. So Verstappen, I'm not sure. You can see Verstappen and Stroll just coming down the back straight down here. I'm not sure that it's going to catch him because Verstappen's just coming around to start lap 57 of 57. So he's just coming to start the last lap. So I doubt he's going to take on Stroll here. Just looking elsewhere to see if there's any type of thing. 1.6 seconds now. Norris, 1.5 seconds now to Norris to Russell. Just doesn't look like there's going to be enough time there. 2.5 seconds from Hamilton to Norris. I just, at this stage, I don't know what to say, really. There's just not a lot going on there, really, is there? I kind of hope Max will be slow this year. I think everyone did. I think everyone will be looking at this going, oh my God, not again, not another season like this. And to be honest, I think for FIA and for F1, I think there needs to be a, hang on a minute, what are we going to do about this? How many laps left for Max? We're on the last lap now. Max Verstappen has started lap 57. Super Max, guys, it was a good season. See you in 2025. I mean, you're more than welcome, by the way, to come back and watch next week. But yeah, at this point, just watching for P2, pretty much. And that's sewed up now. 2.9 seconds to gap from Sainz to Perez. Last lap. Wow, Super Max. Gap between Max and Czech is 22 seconds. As Max Verstappen's coming down the final pit straight, the back straight for the final time, where he will cross to win the race by over 22 seconds. Here he comes across the start-finish line. The Red Bulls are going on the pits there. There's the checkered flag, and there is your race winner. Max Verstappen wins the Bahrain Grand Prix 2024 by a whooping 22.5 seconds. How can you lap 9 cars, Max? That's crazy. You can shout out to my friend Prince. Scream out his name. Prince. Is that right? Prince. That Red Bull's got wings. It's got something on it. Yay, says Berthold. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right at all there. Verstappen overtaking cars and lapping cars. Yep. 2025 is our year. One can only hope. Max is one. Max just playing with the people now. Missed a comment there. Can you say Jonas for fun? Jonas. So I couldn't tell if that's an A or an E for a minute. Jonas. At least saying Sainz is on the podium. He is on the podium. Sainz. I put a wager on now, and I'm not a betting man, so I'll bet my entire £1 Great British pounds that Carlos Sainz finishes ahead of Leclerc this year. That's my prediction. Your name is my name is Adnan. Am I pronouncing that right? Max is 1. See you guys in 2025. Getting a lot of that at the moment. Say Bosdyke Max. What does that mean? I need to get Google Translate up. Honestly, unfair that said you. I don't know. Lap is 57 or 57. Lap is finished. Can I say Josh for fun? Josh, presumably Josh Verstappen. Josh. That's how we pronounce it anywhere in the UK. Josh. I've got a cousin called Josh, funnily enough. Is there a site where I can bet money on F1 races? Depending on what country you're on, there's loads of sites. If you're a betting man, I wouldn't really bet on Formula 1 at the moment. See you next week. Thank you. I'm looking forward to seeing everyone again next week, actually. After watching pre-season testing, only got to know this year, Max year. I'll be back in 2025 when Lewis might have a chance at Ferrari. By the way, big time Max fan, welcome. Even if you put Max on P20 every race, he can be on the podium and say Hamilton Checker. Hamilton Checker? Am I pronouncing that right? Right, ladies and gents, that is the Bahrain 2024 Grand Prix done and dusted. The first race of the season. It was expectedly unexpected, if that makes sense. I think everyone knew Red Bull were going to be quick, but that was just an absolute demolition by Red Bull. Absolute demolition. But it's going to be very difficult to see beyond Red Bull and Max Verstappen this year, if that's anything to go by. 4th title this year for Max, and goodbye. And for me, it is a goodbye until next week. If you haven't, by the way, subscribed to the channel, liked, all that sort of stuff, feel free to do so. Next week, we'll all be back on Facebook as well. And I will look at getting a lap time count here somewhere, try and fit it in and do something so that everyone knows where we are in terms of lap. I might try and look at a little bit of the layout, see if I can make things a little bit clearer as well. But and as always, I appreciate the feedback as always, and this is what we're here for. This is because I am just a one-man army, so to speak. There's no production teams or anything like that, so I am doing it all myself. So I'll try and get something that you guys obviously want to see, and get the layout right so it's clear for everyone and so on. But as always, great to see everyone here. Really enjoyed, really busy stream today as well, really busy stream, and it's been really good, lots of fun, at least in the commentary, at least from my perspective, reading everyone's comments and so on. Nice commentary, thank you very much for tuning in. But until next week to Saudi, where we will be back for qualifying, make sure, by the way, you've got the notification bell ticked so that when we go live for qualifying, we normally go live about 5 minutes or so before, that you will obviously be there for that. And until then, take care. A couple of last comments. You all did the race end. You just missed it, Emma. You just missed it. Do you do F2? I don't do F2 at this stage, but keep an eye out for the future. That's what I would say on that one. Certainly with a lot of stuff I've got going on this channel, hopefully keep an eye out for the future. Yes, the race just ended in the last few years. Yeah, it could be well said. Until next time, everyone, I hope everyone has a really good week. Enjoy whatever it is you're doing for the rest of the weekend as well. Take care, and I'll see you all again soon.